One Piece chapter 952. Now, before we get into this chapter came out super late, and I think this is because one of the people that used to release the scans got arrested, and this greatly affected the release date of the chapter when we normally get it. And the crazy part is that this isn't from Japanese box. This isn't Japanese box translation. This is from Manga Stream, and we know translations can be quite off when it comes to manga streams and Japanese box. So I'm not exactly sure how accurate these translations are, but we're gonna have to make do with what we have right now because I just want to get this out of the way. But again, I'm not sure if this is how the schedule is going to be moving forward because this threw a lot of people off. I think a lot of people were waiting for a chapter last night at midnight, but again, we'll see how this goes moving forward. Now back to One Piece chapter 952. Now this chapter was pretty average, I would say. Not a lot of progression. It was just more so progression on Zoro's side of things, and even then it didn't really get anywhere. It was mostly set up for what's to come, lore on Ryuma and what role Zoro is going to play moving forward, and everywhere else was just kind of stagnant. We did get a few bits of information here and there, but nothing major. We kind of saw all of this coming anyways. Now we started the chapter with Zoro and Gyukimaru. Obviously a day has passed from the previous chapter. Now Zoro questions Gyukimaru about Shisui, and basically Gyukimaru tells him that because Shisui was stolen, this incited the wrath of the sword god, which is Ryuma. I guess that's who they're referring to because that was Ryuma's title, and because of that this basically sparked the downfall of Wano with the invasion of the Kaido pirates and so on. Now this is interesting because we know that cursed swords have negative intent, so maybe it's something like that but on a way bigger scale. But the issue here is that Shisui isn't a cursed blade, it's a black blade, so that's a bit odd. Now this caught Zoro's attention because Gyukimaru said God, and we know that Zoro doesn't pray to God. This was something that was made clear during Skypiea, so this is something that he probably doesn't believe in. So I'm kind of curious as to where this is going. I personally think that Zoro is going to be the next holder of the title sword god. Again, we're probably going to get some lore on Ryuma and that potentially having some form of connection to Zoro. He's definitely going to get Shisui back, but I think he needs to prove himself that he's worthy before Gyukimaru gives it back. And Gyukimaru seems to be a potential asset moving forward because we know that he's stolen quite a bit of weapons from the Kaido pirates, so that might be used to arm the rebels. Not sure if he has that many, but it seems like he has a good amount, but definitely not enough to arm 3,000 men. I think that might be resolved with Hitetsu because he's a swordsmith, so maybe he also plays a part in all of this because remember Hitetsu, he said he was waiting for someone. I don't know if that's Kinemon he was referring to, but again Kinemon did say he had something in the works, so maybe that's what he was talking about. Now back at the prison, everyone is doing pretty well because Chopper was able to cure the poison, and we get introduced to the 4 Yakuza bosses who used to control parts of Wano, one of them being the person we saw when Queen was fighting Big Mom. Now these guys don't look impressive individually, but the fact that they have rebels that are still hiding in Wano, I think that's a good thing for the alliance. So these guys are going to be like commanders for the armies when they go up against Kaido. We also got an update on Big Mom versus Kaido, and obviously it's been off screen. We're only seeing the shock waves of the fight, and we see that Kaido's underlings are scared because they think that Kaido and Big Mom are eventually going to destroy the island, which makes sense, but I think Big Mom and Kaido are probably still sparring. I don't think it's anything serious in terms of what Yonkos are truly capable of. Now interestingly, Queen makes the smart decision to make an attempt to head back to Udon, given that he left Old Maid in charge. He tries to make contact to Udon, and Old Maid tells him everything was fine and that he shouldn't bother coming back. And it's funny because Queen wants to get the hell out of Onigashima because he's making all these excuses to come back to Udon, so he's clearly afraid of what's going on in between Big Mom and Kaido. We later find out that he was being controlled by Tama, and her using her devil fruit ability that allows her to tame not only animals but also people with animal-like abilities. Now I think they're specifically talking about smile users here. And it's funny because people made memes about Kaido getting controlled by Tama, which is definitely not gonna happen. I think this is something that specifically applies to animals and smile users, because smile users are kind of like chimeras in a sense. They don't actually merge with set creatures like actual zones do. But I could see Tama playing a role in upcoming fights with her taming some of the beast pirates and smile users. But overall, this was a pretty normal chapter. It was very average, I would say. But you know, things are progressing, especially on Zoro's side of things. But again, just my quick thoughts on the chapter. Comment down below what you guys think. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe for more One Piece content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter if you do have a Twitter at Ferrospace. But yeah guys, it is Pharaoh, and I will see you folks later. Peace out.